Hello, welcome to Saferight. We want to show you the new Restraint lanyard being used as a dual lanyard or a double-ended lanyard. So this is one end of my line and this is the other end of my line, and I have my shock absorbers and adjusters in the middle to form a Y lanyard. Okay? It's stored into a rope bag, it's in the middle, and basically allows you to move through from anchor point to anchor point. In this case we're going to demonstrate on scaffolding, and then we're going to go through a self-rescue or self-recovery situation. How the unit works is there's a trigger on the side, squeeze the trigger to adjust your line, place your line over your anchor point, bring your other end of your line in, like so, and attach to a rated anchor point in your harness, like so. From there, to adjust up, as you move forward, the running end or the tail end of the line, pull the line through like so. As I move through, I'm going to engage the second end on the new system as we move through. Happy days. So from there, now that I'm secure, just climbing up over the side. As I do, teaching point, always make sure you remove any unwanted slack from the system so that you're always in restraint or tethered. Yeah. So moving through like so. I can then lean out on the equipment like this, and I'm hands free. If I want to adjust out a little bit, I want to go down a little bit, it's simply a matter of like this. This is called double roping. So the adjusters here goes through and back. So for every 1 metre of rope that goes through, I'll go down half a metre. Yeah? So now I move through to the new point, and I want to transfer from one side to the other. I take up my other lanyard, like so. I adjust the lanyard up, like this, exactly as you would a pole strap. Bring the lanyard in, attach it to your D, take out any unwanted slack from the system. So, transfer your weight over. Now, my load is on this side, and now I can adjust from the other side like this, and create slack in the system, and unhook. From there, I can move through, like so. And I can do that as many times as I want. Yeah? So in this case, happy days, I've decided that I'm going to go down, or I've got myself stuck, or let's say I've fallen like this, and because I'm in restraint, you can see there was no shock load. Shock load only occurs when there's slack in the system and you fall. Because there's no slack in the system, there's no fall. So now what happens is I want to be able to self-rescue to the ground. I engage my rescue device like this. As you can see, if you don't engage it, it tucks out the way so that you can't accidentally engage it. And nothing will make the unit accidentally move. I bring it out, and now it has a sweep point. If I click too far like that, it locks. If I let it go, it locks. You're looking for the sweep point in here to be able to lower yourself down like so. And by turning around like this, it's just a simple matter of for every metre of rope that goes through, I move down half a metre. So let's say I've gone down 5-10 metres or thereabouts. As soon as I let go, it stops. So now, with the other end of my line, I go, okay, I'm going to transfer it to a new anchor point. So I take this up like this with the other end, give myself some slack to work with, and attach in. Always make sure that what you're attaching into is a rated part of your harness. I now adjust up my second lanyard and apply slack to my second, and what happens is that all the load goes from this one to this one. So now I can simply adjust, and without dongling myself on the head, this works. There we go. Hey, thought I'd lose that one. It's always good. Attach the free end just so you know where it is. Nothing's getting locked up. So now I can continue to descend. Now watch this. here's my lever. If I try to activate my lever now, I can't because my whole body weight is on the system. And I'd be lifting my body weight off the ground. In order to descend, I have to engage my handle and descend down. So here we go again. So I'm now down to this level. Before you go past the level, and so it's an easy reach. Okay, so we've now reached the point where we wish to do another transfer. So before you move out of reaching point of the next part of your scaffold, simply pass your new Y lanyard or the other end of your Y lanyard through, attach it to your anchor point of your harness, attachment point of your harness, like so, and then take out any unwanted slack so that we're always working in restraint technique or tethering. So now I can continue to descend like so, and as I descend down, the load is then taken onto the other end of the Y. So I can adjust that unit out, take that off without donging myself on the head. Remember, this is rescue. So under rescue, I only require one line, not two. If I was doing any form of work, if I was doing rope access, or window cleaning or whatever, I would need a backup system, a backup device. But this is a lanyard system to Australian Standards 1891, and we're doing self-retrieval or self-rescue. So now from here, I simply activate, and once again, for every metre, or let me put it this way, for every 2 metres of line that goes through my lanyard, I descend 1 metre. Yeah? And I can do this as many times as I like. And in this way, you do not end up in a situation where you have any issues with suspension trauma, because at any time you're in control and you can lower yourself to the ground. So just for the fun of it, we'll go through another demonstration of a transfer. So there's where I'm going to transfer onto. I take up my new lanyard, just make sure there's no twists, over the top, attach to the attachment point of my harness, take up the slack, and you can see just how easy it is. Right? Simple, simple, simple. It's taken up the load, happy days. I now descend on the top one, and now I can release that top one like so, and I can pop a head down. Here we go, heads, heads, heads. Beautiful. And I can continue doing this all the way to the ground as many times as I like. I'm using a 10 metre line, and I'm using both ends of the 10 metre as either end as my lanyard. The lanyard is tested and certified as a lanyard assembly to Australian Standards 1891.3 as a Type 1 lanyard. Yeah? And happy days. So now I'm finished the work that I'm doing. I descend to the ground. As soon as I let go, it stops, and away we go. Always make sure whatever you're descending on is smooth and there's no sharp edges. Remember, this isn't a work method for cleaning windows or anything along those lines. It's a work method for safe access through scaffolding, and if you happen to fall, you want to fall the least amount of distance. If you need to self-rescue, self-recover, you can do so without the assistance of anybody else. Have a great day, stay safe.